So we're 5 games into the new season, and there is one club who look to be setting themselves up for a very long campaign: Crystal Palace. It's pretty fair to say that they have been absolutely hopeless. In fact, they've been so bad that Roy Hodgson is now their new manager, a man who seems pretty nice, but could probably suck the life out of any party. Though on the plus side, he does look a lot like an owl, which is always a good thing. Anyway, after their 1-0 defeat at the hands of Southampton yesterday, Palace managed to have their worst start to a Premier League season since 1995. Oh, and they also managed to break Newcastle's record of not scoring in the opening 438 minutes of Premier League action. They actually went into Saturday's early kickoff with 78 minutes to stop them from breaking the record. They had 14 shots and only 3 were on target. Good start, Roy. Anyway, this horrible start, which is one of the worst of all time after just 5 games, has got us thinking about 5 other teams who had terrible Premier League starts and what actually happened to them. So with that being said, let's get on with the list. Number 1, Derby County 2007-2008. The infamous Derby County season, which is as hard to watch as the latest season of The Walking Dead. But at least stuff actually happened in Derby County season. Hey, Rick, you boring bugger. Anyway, after 5 games, Derby were rooted to the bottom of the Premier League, conceding 15 goals in the process. However, unlike Palace, they did actually manage to score, not once, but 3 times, which when you think about it, is pretty good going considering they had a strike force of Kenny Miller and Rob Earnshaw. In fact, their only saving grace in the opening 5 games was that they managed to pick up points against Portsmouth on the opening day in a 2-2 draw. Anyway, Derby were absolutely shocking that season, and oddly enough stayed rock bottom for the entirety of it, only managing to pick up 3 points against Newcastle United. Derby were nowhere near survival though, with them picking up just 11 points and needing a whopping 26 more to stay up. They had a goal difference of -69, giggity, and won fewer games than Manchester United, who were champions, managed to lose, which is not great. Number 2, Southampton 98-99. Arguably, this is one of the greatest escapes in Premier League history because it is hard to understate just how bad Southampton were during this season. With young forward Kevin Davies out the door and James Beattie yet to find his feet, it was left once again to Matt Le Tissier to produce some magic and rescue the Saints. And they actually started out okay, with a respectable 2-1 defeat at the hands of Liverpool, which they were actually leading for albeit 2 minutes. After that though, their season went to complete crap following a 5-0 thumping by Charlton Athletic, which included a hat-trick from Clive Mendonca, which we're all over. What a cult hero he was. Following that defeat, the team picked up just 1 point in 9 games, and then they went on to pick up just 14 points from a possible 60. However, amazingly, they somehow managed to turn it around, though they did get thumped 7-1 by Liverpool in January. Still though, they managed to pick up points against Newcastle, Leeds and Arsenal, and went on a 5-game unbeaten streak, which kept them up by 5 points in the end. Number 3, Middlesbrough 03-04. So Borough didn't exactly have the worst start to a Premier League season, but it was still really bad. Back in 2003, they had picked up just 1 point from their opening 5 games and were joint bottom with Wolves, who were funnily enough managed by former Southampton boss Dave Jones, who is a terrible manager. After defeats against the likes of Bolton, Leeds, Fulham, Arsenal and a draw with Leicester City, Borough were 19th and had scored just 4 times and conceded 12 goals. And this was with them signing the likes of Mendieta, Danny Mills, Bolo Zenden, Deriva and Ricardinho, a World Cup winner who managed to play exactly 0 games for Borough. However, thankfully for the Smuggies, they went on an impressive 8-game unbeaten run, eventually losing to Manchester United. Obviously, the biggest thing that helped Steve McLaren's side wasn't his ever-growing Hare Island, but their fantastic League Cup run, and the fact that they had Juninho back at the club. Amazingly, after being joint bottom after matchday 5, they managed to finish an impressive 11th, though they could have finished as high as 9th if they hadn't been battered 5-1 by Pompey on the final day. Number 4, Sunderland 04-05. While the previous entry shows Palace fans that they still have plenty of time to turn things around, this one might just show that if you start bad, you really do finish bad. Or to put it in the layman's terms, you pick up the fewest points in Premier League history at the time and you're a laughingstock of the entire footballing world. Ouch. Unlike Borough, who had some genuine quality in their team, Sunderland's was just tragic. As I've said before, if you're signing Anthony Letalic to be your main goal scoring threat, then you're doing something really wrong. Other than that, their midfield consisted of Dean Whitehead, Liam Lawrence, Rory Delap and Tommy Miller, which is just ugh. They kicked their season off with a 3-1 defeat at the hands of Charlton, who were set to have one of the best starts in Premier League history. Anyway, the Black Cats followed that with losses to Liverpool, Man City, Wigan and Chelsea. Funnily enough, after the opening 5 games, they went on a 3-game unbeaten streak, which was quickly stopped by Man United in a 3-1 victory. Sunderland then went on to lose 8 on the trot and did not win again for another 12 games, with a victory against West Brom. It then took them another 14 matches to get another 3 points, with a win over Fulham. However, by this time, they had been relegated for weeks and had finished with just 15 points, 3 victories and 69 goals conceded. Giggity. And number 5, Portsmouth 09-10. Okay, so this one is just sad and might make Palace fans realise that things aren't that bad. So after having some serious financial difficulties, Pompey were left with 9 points deducted, which wasn't exactly going to help them out. Though they did have a big enough squad to be able to deal with the deduction, in fact they used over 30 players in all competitions that season. And despite their money problems, they still managed to splash out 9 million on Kevin Prince-Boateng, Mike Williamson and Tommy Smith. However, none of these really helped, and Williamson was gone by January and Pompey were having a nightmare. Mainly because they started the season in pretty rubbish fashion with a defeat against Fulham. They followed that with a loss to Birmingham and then defeats against Arsenal, Man City and a 3-2 thriller against Bolton. And they just continued the losing feeling. In fact, Pompey didn't make it into positive points until December when they beat Burnley. Still, they managed to get to 19 points, which wouldn't have been enough to keep them up without the 9-point deduction, but at least they managed to get more points than Derby and Sunderland. And that's our list. Do you think Palace are in trouble this season? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share this video and be sure to subscribe to join Team HITC right now.